Recently, NASA identified a dangerous sunspot, 4 times larger than Earth. But after all, what are these solar spots, and to what extent can they be harmful to human beings? Do they influence anything here on the planet? Is it possible to see them without the help of a telescope? Welcome to Futuristic Findings. My name is Robert, and in today's video, I'll tell you everything about this phenomenon. Sunspots are relatively dark regions that appear on the surface of the sun. They are caused by magnetic disturbances that occur within the star. The phenomenon of solar spots is related to the solar cycle, a periodic pattern of solar activity that lasts about 11 years. Sunspots are areas where the sun's magnetic field is more intense than in abundant areas. They appear darker because they are slightly cooler than the neighboring regions, although they are still extremely hot, with temperatures around 6,300 to 8,100 degrees Fahrenheit. According to studies, the average temperature of the solar surface is about 10,000 degrees. The formation of sunspots is linked to the dynamics of the sun's magnetic field. This field is generated by electric currents flowing within the star, primarily due to the movement of plasma or ionized gas in its core. As the plasma moves, it drags the magnetic field, twisting and distorting the field lines. This magnetic activity can lead to the formation of regions with particularly strong and complex magnetic fields, which manifest as dark spots on the surface. During the solar cycle, the sun's magnetic activity increases and decreases. At the peak of this cycle, the emergence of groups of solar spots is common, including the larger and more complex types known as active solar spots. They are typically accompanied by solar flares and coronal mass ejections, which are intense phenomena associated with events like solar storms. Interestingly, when talking about spots, what typically comes to mind is something small and of relative importance, something that can be eliminated with a simple action. However, these solar spots are extremely large. The smallest ones can be the size of Earth, while the largest ones could accommodate up to 4 Earth-sized planets within them. Coronal mass ejections, which are eruptions of ionized gas from the surface of the sun, can reach average speeds of 304 miles per second, according to data from the SOHO and LASCO satellites. The filaments generated by the explosion can have varying lengths and reach over 187,000 miles, as measured by NASA. This is nearly 8 orbits around the Earth along the equator. Recently, NASA detected a solar spot of enormous proportions, 4 times the size of our planet. Due to its size and characteristics, it possesses power equivalent to 3 million nuclear bombs of 15 kilotons each, the same as those used in Hiroshima, for instance. This particular spot, which is still active on the solar surface, is so large that it can be seen using glasses that block the harmful rays emitted by the star. And here's the alert. Never look directly at the sun without any form of protection. If you want to observe any solar phenomenon, always use some form of protection. A simple idea is to use an X-ray plate, which prevents more significant issues. However, the identification of these spots is not a problem, as it is not uncommon for Earth to be bombarded by particles generated by plasma injections. This means that during periods of higher solar activity, the planet's magnetic field is shaken, and some different things happen here. Sometimes they go unnoticed by the untrained eye. Other times, they are noticeable, but many people don't even imagine that they are the result of a solar storm of greater or lesser intensity. The most common solar storms do not pose a real and immediate danger to humans. However, indirectly, they can interfere with everyday life, as these eruptions release a significant amount of radiation into space, known as solar wind. If a solar eruption is directed towards Earth with enough power, it can cause solar storms that impact communication systems, power grids, and navigation systems. In the case of a sunspot as large as the one identified by NASA, an ejection of above-average magnitude is expected. This could magnify material and even structural damage in some cases on the planet. Currently, many aspects of life rely on satellites and GPS navigation systems, in addition to communication, cellular phone services, and the internet. Solar storms can cause disruptions in all of these areas, and the primary concern lies in potential damages of millions to billions of dollars in the future. There is a special concern regarding astronauts located in low Earth orbit and confined within the International Space Station, the ISS. This is because during solar eruptions, significant amounts of radiation are released, and the risk of radiation exposure during these events without the natural protection of the atmosphere is high. However, these astronauts are extensively trained and undergo numerous simulations before being sent into space. And here on Earth, what could actually happen in practice if an extremely intense solar storm results from this immense solar spot? In the worst-case scenario, during an intense solar storm, large amounts of electromagnetic radiation are released, including radio waves, microwaves, and ionizing radiation. This radiation can interfere with electrical signals and electronic circuits, causing reading errors, malfunctions, or permanent damage to components. As the magnetic fields surround Earth's atmosphere, they can induce electric currents in power transmission lines, telecommunications networks, and cables, including those connected to electronic devices. These unwanted currents can damage electronic components, cause power outages, and lead to device failures. Notably, those with pacemakers might face a concerning situation. Although no incidents have been recorded, a group of experts suggests that the device monitoring and correcting heartbeats could potentially experience interference during a strong magnetic storm. Pacemakers, along with other implanted electronic devices, may be sensitive to electromagnetic interference. While most modern pacemakers are designed with protective mechanisms to minimize the effects of interference, an extremely intense solar storm could still potentially disrupt their operation. For those concerned about solar radiation on the skin, during more intense solar cycles, it's important to be more cautious. The suggestion is simple. Taking extra precautions is always wise. NASA has detected a massive spot, and the possibility of high-intensity solar storms exists. A good sunscreen is essential, especially if used regularly. Avoiding direct sun exposure without proper protection and preferably wearing sunglasses are crucial measures. We might not feel the effects immediately, which is normal, but we can prevent harmful effects from escalating. It doesn't cost anything, right? So be sure to always use sunscreen. Now I invite you to watch other videos on our channel. Take care and see you in the next video.